Night fell on Skull Island, black like an endless pit. The jungle slept, but its breath echoed with danger. A low growl rolled across the island. The earth trembled. Something was wrong. Scar Shimo, a seasoned hunter, felt it too. His skin prickled with fear. He knew that sound. It meant death was coming. He gripped his spear tighter. His heart pounded against his ribs. The growl came again, closer this time. It shook the very air he breathed. Scar Shimo looked around, his eyes scanning the darkness. He was alone, a tiny morsel in a world of monsters. The jungle held its breath. A roar, deafening and primal, shattered the silence. It was Kong, the island's king, and he was enraged. His fury echoed through the trees, shaking the leaves loose. It was a sound that spoke of unimaginable power. The ground shook with each heavy step he took. Trees snapped and fell under his colossal feet. His eyes, burning like hot coals in the darkness, scanned the jungle. He was hunting. The air was thick with the stench of death and something ancient, something primal. Scar Shimo knew he was the prey. He could feel the giant's eyes on him, even through the thick foliage. He had to get out. He had to disappear. Terror, cold and sharp, gripped Scar Shimo's heart. He had never felt fear like this. His breath came in short, panicked gasps. His legs felt like lead, but he forced himself to move. He ducked behind a massive tree trunk, its bark rough against his cheek. He could hear Kong getting closer. The ground trembled with each step, the vibration sending shivers down Scar Shimo's spine. He had to be silent. He couldn't let Kong find him. But the jungle was alive with sound. Insects hummed, birds twittered nervously. Even his own fear seemed deafening. Kong was close now. Scar Shimo could smell his musky scent, a mix of earth and rage. He held his breath, praying to the spirits of the jungle to make him invisible. Trapped! Scar Shimo dared to peek from behind the tree. Kong was right there, his massive frame filling his vision. The giant ape was sniffing the air, his nostrils flaring. He was searching for him. Scar Shimo felt a surge of panic. He was trapped. He had nowhere to go. Kong let out another roar, this one shaking the very earth beneath them. The sound seemed to split Scar Shimo's eardrums. He cowered behind the tree, his heart hammering against his ribs. He squeezed his eyes shut, waiting for the inevitable. Claws of death. A shadow fell over Scar Shimo. He opened his eyes, his breath catching in his throat. Kong's giant hand, claws like obsidian daggers, was reaching for him. Scar Shimo scrambled back, his heart pounding in his ears. He had to move, had to get away, but Kong was too fast. His hand closed around Scar Shimo's waist, lifting him into the air. Scar Shimo struggled against the iron grip, but it was useless. He was helpless, a fly caught in the clutches of a spider. He looked up at Kong's face, a mask of fury and ancient power. Kong opened his mouth, revealing rows of sharp teeth, each one longer than Scar Shimo's arm. The air was hot and rank with the smell of decay. Scar Shimo closed his eyes, waiting for the end. Uncertain fate. But the end didn't come. Kong had stopped, his head turning sharply. His grip on Scar Shimo loosened slightly, but the hunter didn't dare to move. He followed Kong's gaze, his heart still pounding against his ribs. Something was coming through the trees, something big, something that made even Kong wary. Scar Shimo clung to life, his fate hanging in the balance. Was this a chance at escape, or would he merely be caught between two titans?